some sort of our experience with the whole process. So if you are new to Azure Standard, they're actually a co-op based in Oregon, and you place your order once a month, and then there's like a cutoff date. I think it's the last day of the month. And then about a week later is when it's set to be delivered. Now, you have to look on the website and see if there's a drop-off site near you, because they don't deliver to your house. You have to go and pick up, like literally the truck full of goods comes and delivers, you know, everyone in the area to typically, I think, like a big parking lot, or in our case, a farm, which is about 45 minutes away, so super doable for us. And they drop off all the stuff there, and then you go pick it up once a month, or however often you order. We probably won't order even once a month because this is bulk buying, and you save the most money when you buy like the larger quantities. And since it is 45 minutes away, like that's not a huge deal, but I want to make sure that I buy what we need and then we're able to save it for a while, and I don't have to be placing like these small orders every month. I rather place like bigger orders. And so I actually learned a lot in this order, because I'm gonna explain to you when I go over the products that we got, because some of the stuff I'm like, oh, that was a lot smaller than I thought it was gonna be. And I am just historically so bad at knowing like sizes and ratios. So that is something I need to work on if I'm gonna be bulk shopping like for groceries in large quantities. But anyway, so we placed our order. The cutoff date was the end of February, so February 28th, and then they had said your drop-off date is slated for March 9th, but there's sort of like a give or take a couple days, just depending on the truck drivers and when they arrive. So in our case, that was supposed to be last Wednesday. Today's Monday, and the trucker got a flat tire, then they got held up somewhere. I can't remember what the reason was, but it ended up getting pushed to then Saturday, then Sunday, and then now today, Monday. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty stressful trying to figure out planning around that. I think if we would have had more on our schedule right now, that would have been, you know, it could have been a situation where we couldn't have picked it up today, but luckily our schedule's pretty flexible, so it worked out and it was fine. And I will say that I've watched lots of YouTube videos about people's experiences with Azure Standard, and I've never heard of this happening. I don't know if this is like because of our times right now. I think it has to do with a lack of truck drivers like in the area. However, our drop site coordinator did say this has never happened before like this, and so I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of keep that in the back of my mind. Hopefully it's not like a very complicated thing trying to pick it up, but essentially you just go on your drop off day and you go pick up everything. So they don't deliver to your door. Like I said, you go to either like a big parking lot, or in our case, a farm, and go and pick up your stuff. So when we got there, actually, I think typically you, like everyone that has orders that they're picking up, they all help unload the truck and put things in categories. So they've got a handy printout of each person and everything that they ordered. Some stuff goes out of stock and doesn't ship. I was super lucky, I think, and I only had one thing. I had a 5-pound thing of salt or something that I ordered, and that didn't ship. But that was the only thing that went out of stock and didn't ship. So this is a little bit of a tip. If you are ordering, make sure that you like go over your order like with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that you have that everything is in stock or has a lot in stock. So you'll be able to see right next to the item like cinnamon, and it'll say 5,000 in stock, or 200 in stock, or 50 in stock. Like it'll tell you actually how much there is, so you can say, okay, that's probably going to go out of stock with all these people around the country buying. Maybe I can get a different size. That's what happened with my flour. Actually, I had one size in my cart, and then the last day of February, when your order is due, you need to like check out by that last day in order for it to process. I went ahead and quickly changed my quantities of flour to get the amount that I wanted, but like make sure that it would ship and not go out of stock, because the original quantity I had was about to go out of stock, if that makes sense. So you go like that very last day of the month when your orders are going to close and make sure that everything is like very plentiful. If not, change it to a different quantity. You'll see there's different quantities. Like you can get a small thing like this, or you can get like a big thing. Like I got like a 50-pound bag of organic oats. So you can change the quantities and the amounts and how big of a size. Now, the bigger the sizes, the more you save. We arrived today and we actually got there probably like 10 minutes late, our bad. But it only looked like they had about 4 different pickups. They had all of my stuff in one section and they had my receipt on there and they said, hey, what's your name? I told them my name's Natasha and they were like, okay, this is your stuff. Just take your receipt and make sure you have everything that you ordered and then you're good to go. So me and the kids loaded it into the trunk of our minivan. I did bring a cooler to put cold stuff and frozen stuff, but we were coming straight back home, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but I did want to make sure that like I got a lot of cream and I wanted that to stay cold. There's definitely a learning curve. So I encourage you, go on YouTube, type in Azure Standard and like look, there's so many videos of people sharing their tips, sharing what they ordered. I actually got a lot of really good ideas from just looking at what other people ordered and thinking through how that could work for our family. So I'm gonna show you what we got, and then hopefully that'll even inspire you of some things that you can stock up on, okay? So I'm gonna start over here. I got 40 pounds of organic all-purpose flour. This is for my sourdough, and how I'm gonna store this is in these big 5-gallon buckets. You can get these, I think we got these for $3 at Walmart, and then the lids are Gamma lids. Gamma lids are airtight sealed, so you keep everything really fresh and you also keep any kind of rodents or anything like that out. So the Gamma seal lids are actually from Amazon. I think they're like $7 or $8 on Amazon for a pack of 2, I believe. And then I got these buckets and I'm just labeling them. So I'm actually gonna throw the flour and the oats, and I think that's it. I'm gonna throw them into our deep freezer for a couple of days, probably about 3 or 4 days before I transfer them into the buckets, because I have heard that when you have big quantities like this, sometimes you can get like those little weevils, I think they're called. They're just those little bugs that tend to come in grains. So that's what I'm gonna do, because the freezing will kill it all off. And then after a few days, I'll transfer them to the buckets and we'll keep them stored down there. And then we are keeping it all in our basement. So like buckets and extra pantry supplies, we've got a shelf in our basement. Let me know if you want to see that. I think that'd be really cool to show like what's in our deep freezer and what's in our pantry shelves down in, I would call it like our cold room, if you've kind of seen like how people preserve things, because it stays pretty cool down there and stay good if they're non-perishable items and they're obviously sealed. Then I got 10 cans of diced mango, as well as 10 cans of pineapple chunks. So this will just be like really great quick fruit that stays good and isn't gonna go bad. And that'll last us a really long time. I got 2 apple sauces. Again, I thought these were gonna be like twice the size of this. And I was going to like portion them out and freeze them so that we can use them. I like to use applesauce in baking, but obviously it could be like a kid's snack as well. And these are a little smaller than I thought, but it's fine. Now I know. Now I know what 24 ounces looks like. Oh my goodness. Okay, then I got 2 bottles of lime juice. This is just pure lime juice, perfect for cooking if a recipe calls for lime. I just like to have this on hand so I don't have to cut up and squeeze a lime every single time. Same with lemon. I got 2 glasses of lemon juice, so I'll keep 1 of each in the fridge and then 2 more in our cold room storage. I wanted to try this yogurt, so we're gonna try it because I wanna see if we like it. It's grass-fed, cream on top, whole milk, plain yogurt. So obviously a very good quality yogurt as a snack, but I wanted to try it because if my kids don't like it, I didn't want to buy a huge quantity of it. So if they like it, maybe I'll put this on our next order. Okay, I also got 20 cans of coconut milk. We use a lot of coconut milk. This is great. It's just coconut, organic coconut and water. I will use this for smoothies occasionally or curries, Thai dishes, and obviously it'll keep really well. I mean, we buy so much of this. So I got 20. Then I wanted to try their dish soap. So we were completely out of dish soap, and this is a clean, fragrance-free option, and I just wanted to try it. So I got one to try. I also got one of the dishwasher powder, fragrance-free, to try. So I will keep you posted if what I think about that when we use it. I also got, let's see, this is 3 pounds of raw orange blossom honey. So we go through a lot of honey. The kids put it on their oatmeal every single morning. I use it for baking. I also got a pound of dark allergen-free chocolate chips. This is something that I will for sure buy more of in the future because we could just go through more than this basically with baking and whatever. They have lots of different options. Like they've got pretty much every option of chocolate chips. And I just really like the Enjoy Life kind that are allergen-free and like the dark chocolate ones. And so this is basically like their version of that. I got 2 pounds of coconut sugar. I also got 40 ounces each of black beans and garbanzo beans. Now, I am going to soak and sprout these and cook them in my Instant Pot and portion them out and freeze them. Because if I ever have a recipe that calls for like 1 can of black beans, then I can just pull it out of the freezer, let it thaw. I feel like they thaw really quickly, and that takes so much less time and effort than having to remember to soak my beans. I usually don't have time to sprout them because that's something you have to do over the course of a few days, but I love sprouting my beans or anything that I can, any kind of like grain or seed or anything that you can sprout. I like taking the time to do that because it increases the nutrient value and it makes it much more digestible. Cinnamon powder so that I can fill up my cinnamon shakers whenever I need it. I got some organic decaf coffee, keep these in the freezer, and then my husband has a Keurig, so he can just fill up his little K-cup, like refillable K-cup thing. Then I got these glass half-gallon storage jars. This is perfect for rice, sugar, beans, popcorn, like all kinds of pantry items. I love glass storage, and we need plenty of it, especially now. And then the lids. So the glass jars and the lids are sold separately. So just a note, if you want something like this, either the half gallon or the gallon, like look for the corresponding lid because you don't want to get the jars and no lids. So I got 6 of each of those for storage. Then I got 10 bottles of A2 heavy whipping cream. So A2 milk is a lot more digestible and it's just a higher nutrient quality. I was getting organic cream from the grocery store, but this is just so much better. I can throw these in my freezer and then just pull one out when I need it. I love myself some cream, so that is going to be great. Then I got this big 25-pound bag of organic quick oats. You always want to do organic oats because they are very heavily sprayed for glyphosate. Always make sure to do organic. And then we are always buying oats. My kids eat oatmeal every single morning. We go through it quite often. I actually bake with oats as well. I just blend it in the blender and make a flour out of it. So this I'm gonna just throw into the deep freezer, same as the flour, kill off anything that could potentially be in there, and then store them in the 5-gallon food storage buckets with the gamma lids. We can just refill the pantry storage as needed. I don't mind having large quantities of something that we use all the time, especially if it can be preserved and it's not gonna go bad. I also got 10 of these gluten-free brown rice tortillas. Quesadillas are kind of a staple lunch or dinner in our household. Some shredded cheese, some shredded chicken. You've got yourself a meal, the kids will eat it. It's just a happy time. So I got a lot of these to keep in the freezer, just pull it out when we need it. I really like these tortillas. They get really nice and crispy when you cook them on like a cast iron skillet. A question that I've gotten, which is how do you bulk shop for groceries and also do the seasonal meal plan? So this is actually something that I used to do years ago. I would make my meal plan for the season, which if you're new to that concept, it's basically choosing 16 to 20 dinner recipes that you're going to rotate for 3 months. Each season is about 3 months long. So right now we're in spring, so we've got March, April, and May. I've got 16 recipes that I am rotating through for our family, and it just makes meal planning every single week so much easier. It saves us money, especially if you're going to utilize bulk buying. So what I used to do, and now I'm going to try to get back into this rhythm with Azure Standard, is I would look at my recipes that I'm going to rotate through for the season, and I would go to Costco, go to Sam's, and I would stock up on all the meat and all the different pantry items that it called for. So if you look at your list of recipes, once you choose your recipes to rotate through, take note of, do these call for rice? Does it call for coconut milk? Does it call for coconut aminos? What can I buy more of so it's cheaper and have on hand? That way it just makes grocery shopping as well weekly so much easier. My hope is that our grocery shopping weekly is just going to basically be some random items here or there, maybe some snack items, and then basically just our fresh produce. So that's kind of how we're doing it. So I think I didn't really think through this ahead of time. I hadn't fully finalized my spring meal plan by the time I placed this order. But in the future, I think that's something that I'm definitely going to think through ahead of time, make my meal plan for the following season, place my Azure order, make sure I've got what I need, have the meat on hand that I need, just have everything that I need. It'll make everything so much easier. Okay, and then the last thing that I got is this 12-pack case of 32-ounce raw apple cider vinegar with the mother. We use apple cider vinegar all the time. I make wellness shots out of them. I put it in my detox baths. I bake and cook with it. It's extremely versatile, and we just go through it all the time. But yeah, when I got the 12 bottle case of the apple cider vinegar, it came out to about $2.30 something, I believe. So that's pretty darn cheap for apple cider vinegar. Like I said, if you buy, the more you buy, the more you save. So I thought that was a super good deal. Okay, that's everything for our first Azure haul. I hope that this gave you some inspiration, some ideas, some tips if you're gonna also do this kind of buying yourself. Thanks for watching. If you've got questions, just reply to the email you got this video in, or send me a DM on Instagram, and I am happy to help.